So now that you actually understand Magic Zap and how to create your first Zap, how to get the script installed on your web page, how to create a dynamic landing page that literally will drive your conversions through the roof because you actually are speaking to the traffic that's on your page. I want to show you how you can actually pre-populate forms. And pre-populating forms is going to be very, very similar to the other option in Magic Zap, which is creating dynamic landing pages. So all you need to do to pre-populate a form is essentially look at your form elements, okay? So right here, I can see this right here, this form element. And if I check this out, if I just look in here, I can see that this thing has a name called name, all right? So I'm just gonna go back to Magic Zap again. I'm gonna edit this guy. And then I'm just gonna add in a name called name, like that. And then I'm gonna come back here and I'm going to look at this thing. And I'm gonna see that this thing has a name called email. So I'm just gonna add that into Magic Zap. I'm gonna say there's a name called email, all right? And I'm gonna add that guy up. So now I've got that done. So now I can essentially just come in here, and if I want to put in pre-populate my name, I can just say name equals John Vaughn. And you can see my name has been pre-populated in the form there. All right. So it's the same thing for email. If I go in and put in my email and say email equals hello@tier5.us, then you can see Magic Zap has actually pre-populated my information for me. Now my form is actually pre-populated, very, very similar to the way that I had created the dynamic content, which I can still do if I want. I can just go in and say, you know, and F name equals John, and L name equals Vaughn, and I don't know how to spell niche, and I know I misspelled it wrong probably. N-I-T-C-H is how I spelled it because I'm not a great speller. Sorry about that. N-I-T-C-H equals computer engineer. So now you can see everything working at once, all right? Now you can see that not only have I created this dynamic content up here that speaks directly to my user, I've also went ahead and pre-populated his name and his email address here, okay? So now the form pre-populated form and the content is dynamic form. So again, how do you go in and actually pre-populate those forms and fill out those forms? Well, it's pretty simple. You just need to know the information about your form elements, and you can, if it's got an ID, you can refer to it as an ID. These form elements from ClickFunnels, they don't have IDs. They just have names. As you can see right here, it says name equals name. And when I looked at this one, it says name equals email. So I just grabbed that name equals email, and I went into Magic Zap, and I just gave it an email, and I said, okay, that is its name. I've got a thing called email, and I'm gonna and that's its name. It has a name called email, or it has an ID called email. This one didn't happen to have an ID, it had a name, okay? And then again, I just sent the data for Magic Zap to pre-populate as URL parameters here. So all the data that I need is actually embedded in these URL parameters. And that's how easy it is to get Magic Zap to go in and actually pre-populate your website forms for you so that you can actually, that as well, like I said, that as well, I've tested it several times, and that as well is going to actually help you increase conversions. So pre-populating these forms for somebody is going to help you increase conversions because it decreases the friction from your users. They have less information, and you think about it from a user perspective. I mean, do you want to sit all day long and fill out form data, or would you rather just, you know, put in just your email and click go? All right. So if I can appeal to your laziness, I can get you to convert, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm appealing to your laziness. If you look and you see, hey, you've got 10 different things that you need to go in and actually fill out, well, you may not actually fill them all out because you may be a little lazy, let's face it, or maybe you just don't feel like spending all your time filling out form data. So the more easier I can make that for you, the less pieces of data I can require you to give me, the higher percentage that I have that you're going to give me the data that I want and actually convert. So I'm going to use Magic's app to actually pre-populate all the data that I currently know about you, and all that's going to be left is the data that I really want from you. And I'm really, to some extent, going to psychologically trick you into giving me that data, because you already see that I have so many data pieces from you that you already somewhat trust me, because you're like, okay, well, you already have this data. Okay, I'll go ahead and give you my phone number as well, because it's just one piece of data, and I really want to know this special offer that you have for computer engineers. So that's how easy it is to go in and actually, that's how easy it is to go in and get Magic's app to pre-populate your forms for you.